Hi, I'm ANA DE LLOR. I'm a singer-songwriter, and first of all I just wanted to thank Faultress for putting this together. It's such a great thing to do at the moment, and all artists have been great so far. Welcome to my room and my sort of fancy lighting for you. This is weird though, talking to a camera, so I'll try my best. I'm here to tell you a bit about myself, about my writing process and project. I do believe that everyone's writing process is very different from each other. Each artist has their own, and I do think that a lot of the times, and that happens to me a lot, that I don't have one way to write. It's always different, and definitely who you are and where you're from and your past and your different experiences will much likely influence the content of that writing. I'm Portuguese from Lisbon, and I've been living in London for quite a few years now. And I remember when I was little, up to when I was probably like around 13, 14, I used to spend my summers in two villages where my family is from. They're very like isolated villages in the interior of Portugal, and I remember basically forcing all the elderly watching me while I would do like a talent show, like a singing talent show all by myself. Of course I would always win because I was the host, I was the contestants. Of course I would somehow win. Yeah, very good at multitasking already. And a few years ago I went back to one of those villages, and we did a trip by train, and I remember crying a lot while I watched all the landscape and listened to the folk music from the region that I hadn't listened for so long. And I was also with my grandmother, and that was just a very emotional moment for me to listen to all of that with her. And I think it was then that I realized how much all of that meant to me. And it's funny because I was already abroad. I was not living in Lisbon anymore. I was in the UK, and only then I realized how much all of that was so big. And I do think that that was kind of like a very important moment when I realized that that would have to be part of my music and my projects for sure. So I've been mainly working with sounds and melodies that always go towards those songs from the village. Folk songs, they're just songs that you learn, basically it's word of mouth. There's no official writers for almost any of them, and people will learn them in the fields while working. And one of the main instruments that is used in the region, let me show it to you. There you go. This is my beautiful hand drum, and I managed to get it from one of the last people from his generation that still builds them. Yeah, there's a wooden structure inside. Traditionally they're meant to be built by men and played only by women, and of course that changed now. But yeah, I was very lucky to get one of these, and this is basically the sound you'll hear on the beats that I use in my music. It's called a doof, by the way. So the way I write tends to be different every time I write something new. I tend to write things on my phone notes, on my million post-its that I have around my desk, to do a lot of voice notes whenever I remember anything. Yeah, and also to note down like nice thoughts or nice way of putting things. I do tend to explain things through metaphors or in visual ways. This is probably because it's easier for me. I do have synesthesia, and that's basically a condition. It is very common in the creative world. It's basically when your brain cannot separate cannot isolate sound and image. They're somehow always connected. So a sound might suggest a color, or a word suggests a color. And it is quite fun, and it is a quite cool thing to have if you need to have something. I do use it a lot on all the imagetic I work on for my music as well, because that's my background. I used to do visual arts since a very, very early age, and luckily I never done anything besides art, so that's a really cool thing. So for this specific song, the main theme happened like over a year ago. The main theme that you'll hear, it's the frame drum, the adufe, and the claps and some haze. And only a few months ago I got together with one of my two producers. I have two producers, luckily. I have Natalie. Natalie is from Venezuela and is London based as well. And Gonzalo, who's also my friend. We met years ago back in Lisbon, and we've been working ever since I moved here, I think. I don't think I'm the greatest arranger, so I'm very lucky to have them. I think I'm best at getting main themes for things, getting voice melodies down, lyrics, but I do think that the whole pack of the three of us has been like really awesome. We work really well together and we're friends, which is perfect. So I brought that main theme to Natalie. Gonzalo joined us and we started working, the three of us, on the track. For this track I thought a lot about intention, which is, for me, it's even more important than your vocal technique. You need the right intention to sing to, so you can pass on the message that you want. You want people to feel the same thing that you felt when you wrote the song. So with Natalie I started working on that main theme and adding, I believe it was the bass first, and it started sounding like really cool. It started sounding like something. And then I was trying to get ideas for the song, to get lyrics and everything. And then literally one day I was heading to bed to sleep, and I had this idea and I started humming it. So I kind of sat down and just like with a USB mic I kind of recorded it for her. And that thing, that first verse that I did, defined the whole song. With that the lyrics came and the whole intention for the song as well. This song, Lilith, it evolved for months until I actually felt that I knew what I was talking about. Writing music can be compared to some sort of therapy, because sometimes you don't know exactly what you're gonna write about until you do. It's like something you had kept inside of you and suddenly it just comes out. And that's what happened with the song. It was basically a big putting my foot down and standing up for all women who have been shut down and not taken seriously their whole lives. I think most of us have experienced that one way or the other, unfortunately. This song went through so many stages and had so many different names, because we knew what we were talking about, but when we read about Lilith's story, that the song came to its complete state. It just made perfect sense, basically, and it also represented the message perfectly. I can give you a bit of context why we chose the name for the song. I'm gonna read from my phone if that's okay, because I don't want to mess this up. Lilith is named after Adam's villainized first wife, cursed and cast out of the Garden of Eden for simply demanding to be treated as an equal. For the song I also gathered a group of female singers that I know personally and who I thought that would understand the message, and they were amazing. They created this beautiful choir, in my opinion, that you hear on the song, and you can hear them very well on the chorus, on the bridge, and on the outro. The outro actually was a moment that we just improvised while we were recording. We just decided to improvise for a few takes, and it was very cool. It's actually one of my favorite things to do, and it's one of my favorite parts of the song. And they sound beautiful and they were great. And here's a song for you. I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit of the music video. The song is available on all main music platforms, and I hope we're all out of this very soon, hugging each other and dancing a lot. So yeah, see you soon.